Oscar Piastri is frustrated at McLaren after shocking new evidence emerged from the Baku Grand Prix. What was expected to be another composed and calculated performance turned into a dramatic twist that has left fans stunned and the paddock buzzing. The headline itself sets the tone of drama and urgency, highlighting just how unexpected and significant this turn of events really is. Oscar Piastri's crash in Q3 at the Baku Grand Prix was not just another racing incident. It was a moment that shook the entire paddock. Known for being one of the most consistent and composed drivers on the grid, Piastri has built his championship campaign on precision, calmness under pressure, and avoiding the mistakes that usually separate champions from also-rans. Yet, in the dying minutes of qualifying, with pole position in his sights, he ran wide at turn 3 and slammed into the barrier, for a driver described as ice-cool all season. This rare mistake revealed a moment of vulnerability that left fans stunned and McLaren scrambling to understand what went wrong. The drama was amplified by the fact that it came at a circuit where margins are measured in millimeters, and Piastri had until now been flawless in managing them. His frustration, uncharacteristic errors, and the visible tension inside McLaren's garage turned what should have been a straightforward qualifying into the start of a much larger story. What made the crash even more significant was how it fit into the wider story of Piastri's weekend. From the very first laps of Friday practice, nothing seemed to run smoothly. Power unit issues forced him into the garage almost immediately, robbing him of valuable track time to build rhythm on the demanding streets of Baku. When he finally returned, he clipped the wall, unsettling both his confidence and his preparation. FP2 offered no relief. Piastri once again brushed the barriers, triggering an unscheduled inspection and further disrupting his run plan. To make matters worse, he also received a reprimand from the stewards for a yellow flag incident, adding another layer of pressure before qualifying had even begun. By the time Q3 arrived, the crash was not an isolated mistake. It felt like the inevitable climax of a series of setbacks that had built throughout the weekend. The timing of this collapse could not have been worse for his championship hopes. Piastri may hold a 31-point lead over Lando Norris, but in Formula 1, such an advantage can vanish overnight. One retirement, one safety car gamble, or one costly mistake can flip the entire narrative. And in Baku, a track known for punishing even the smallest of errors, the danger is greater than ever. This is exactly why the Azerbaijan Grand Prix has become one of the highest stakes events of the season. Every lap carries risk. Every decision could redefine the championship. And if you don't want to miss a single twist in this unfolding drama, make sure you stay locked in, leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and stick around until the very end to uncover every detail of Piastri's frustration and the shocking evidence that could reshape the entire title fight. From the very start of the weekend, Oscar Piastri's rhythm seemed off. In FP1, power unit issues forced him back into the garage just as the session was beginning, stealing away crucial mileage at a circuit where track time is everything. When he finally rejoined, he brushed the wall, an early warning sign that things weren't entirely under control. By FP2, his struggles deepened. The car felt unsettled, twitchy on entry, and unpredictable over the bumps. Every setup tweak seemed to open new problems rather than solve existing ones. And while he still managed to put in competitive laps on the timesheets, the telemetry revealed the deeper truth: inconsistency, instability, and a lack of trust in the car's balance. By the time qualifying rolled around, the pressure had built to a breaking point. In Q3, with pole position in sight, Piastri pushed into turn 3 with the precision he's shown all season. But this time, the car didn't respond. The rear stepped out, the margin disappeared, and in an instant, he was in the barrier. For the first time this year, the championship leader will line up outside the top 4. For a man who has built his campaign on consistency, control, and confidence, this mistake was a dent not just in the car, but in the aura of invincibility he's carried all season. Piastri's crash has also reignited the conversation about McLaren's internal dynamics, a storyline that has been simmering since the controversial team orders at Monza. That decision, when Piastri was asked to give up position to Lando Norris, still lingers in the minds of fans and critics alike. And now every setback is viewed through the lens of potential favoritism. With Piastri vulnerable after his Q3 crash and Norris starting ahead in 7th, questions of fairness and team balance are once again impossible to ignore. For Norris, the situation is bittersweet. He avoided the walls in qualifying and secured a higher starting position, but he didn't fully capitalize on the rare opportunity created by his teammate's mistake. This could have been the moment to swing momentum decisively in his favor, to transform Piastri's vulnerability into a genuine title shift. Instead, his own limitations across practice and qualifying meant that while he starts ahead, he doesn't do so from a position of strength. That leaves McLaren walking a delicate tightrope. Both drivers are under pressure, both are vulnerable, and the team must now navigate a weekend where every strategy call and every on-track decision could define not just the race, but the balance of their championship campaign. The cracks are beginning to show, and whether McLaren can manage this rivalry without self-destruction may become the defining question of their season. While McLaren wrestles with its internal battles, there's another threat lurking just behind them: Max Verstappen. The reigning champion has built his career on seizing opportunities when rivals falter, and Baku is exactly the kind of circuit where he thrives. Known for its brutal high-speed straights and unforgiving walls, this track punishes even the smallest error. And with Piastri starting outside the top 4 for the first time this season, Verstappen is perfectly positioned to capitalize. The danger doesn't just come from Verstappen alone. Starting deeper in the pack leaves Piastri surrounded by midfield chaos, where safety cars, red flags, and unpredictable collisions are constant risks. Every overtaking attempt carries the chance of disaster, and every lap behind slower cars risks overheating tires or compromising strategy. At the same time, Verstappen has the pace, experience, and instinct to strike exactly when his rivals stumble. For McLaren, this means the challenge is twofold. Not only must they contain the growing tension between Piastri and Norris, but they also need to keep an eye on Verstappen, whose consistency and opportunism make him a constant danger. The championship battle is no longer just about McLaren. It's about surviving the chaos that Verstappen feeds on. What makes this even more critical is the context. Norris is close enough to pounce, Verstappen is lurking and ready to exploit chaos, and McLaren must now balance championship strategy with the fragile confidence of their lead driver. This isn't just about one race. It's about how the team responds under pressure. Can they stabilize the car overnight, restore Piastri's trust, and keep their campaign on track? Or will this moment be remembered as the turning point where momentum shifted away from them? So now the big question remains. Will Oscar Piastri bounce back from this setback and prove his resilience? Or will the crash in Baku be remembered as the moment when the championship began to slip through his fingers? The frustration is clear, the pressure is immense, and the stakes have never been higher. With Norris eager to close the gap and Verstappen waiting to pounce, every decision and every lap from here on could define the season. Let me know what you think. Was this just a blip for Piastri, or the start of something bigger? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in this incredible title fight.